Happy Independence Day, everyone, and welcome to Kathaa By Shraddha. In this series, which is an Independence Day special, I would like to present to you some really amazing stories of our war heroes, Param Vir Chakra awardees. These stories are derived from a beautiful book called Param Vir, Our Heroes in Battle, published by Roli Books and authored by Major General Ian Cardozo. Now, before we delve into the stories, in this first episode, I want to tell you a little bit about the author of this book and also a little bit of the history and the legacy of the Param Vir Chakra itself, about the award. About the author. Major General Ian Cardozo was the very first cadet to win the gold medal for being the best all-round cadet as well as the silver medal for being first in order of merit. A feat that is really amazing. He was then commissioned at the Indian Military Academy into the 1st Battalion of the 5th Gorkha Rifles in 1958 and was the very first officer of the army to be awarded the Sena Medal for gallantry on a patrol in 1960 at the northeast frontier. Now, Major General Ian Cardozo earned the highest respect of all of his fellow cadets and his fellow officers by a very brave and defining act during the war, the Indo-Pak War of 1971. During the last days of this war, he was unfortunate to step on a landmine. And as soon as he realized that his leg, which was severely injured, could not be saved, he turned to his fellow backman, his Gorkha backman called Bal Bahadur, and asked him to take out his kukri and amputate the leg. And when Bal Bahadur refused, the Major General took the kukri himself and self-amputated his leg. And his inspiring story doesn't end there. You know, he actually went on to retrain with an artificial leg, and he overcame the handicap of losing a leg and became the very first war-disabled officer to be approved for the command of an infantry battalion. Isn't that just amazing? Now, he retired in 1993 from his appointment as Chief of Staff of a corps in the East. He has worked with the Spastic Society of Northern India and was Chairman of the Rehabilitation Council of India for 9 years. And at present, he is the President of the War Wounded Foundation. Now, Major General Cardozo has written other books. He's also authored The Sinking of INS Kukri, Survivors' Stories, and he's also written a very extensive graphic series on Param Vir Chakra heroes. And the link to these books can be found in the description of this video. Be sure to check them out. Major General Cardozo's most recently published book marks 50 years of the 1971 Indo-Pak War, and it's called 1971, Stories of Grit and Glory from the Indo-Pak War. Be sure to check that one out too. And now to delve into a bit of the legacy behind the Param Vir Chakra. Let's hear a bit in Major General Cardozo's words. The Param Vir Chakra was instituted in January 1950, approximately 2.5 years after India became independent. Since then, 21 individuals of the armed forces have won this award, the country's highest award for bravery in the face of the enemy. Most of them have made the ultimate sacrifice. 14 of them have been posthumous. This book is an attempt to put together an account of these heroes, and it is hoped that by doing so, the citizens of our great nation come closer to the members of the armed forces and become aware of what they do to ensure the security of the nation. It needs to be remembered, however, that these icons of courage represent a mere fraction of equally inspiring deeds of dedication and heroism by the unknown soldier, who remains unsung and unrecognized, and who has given and continues to give his all so that we, the citizens of India, can sleep in peace. The acts of gallantry and sacrifice made by the bravest of the brave in defending the nation provide the best example for present and future generations. What is it that makes these intrepid warriors do what they have done? Are they ordinary mortals who have performed extraordinarily well in challenging circumstances? Or are they extraordinary persons, the likes of whom are rare to come by? These are questions that are difficult to answer. And if you have the fortune to read this book, you as a reader will have to come to your own conclusions after going through all of these stories. Now, this book also endeavors to put together the life sketch of the individual, so you as a reader have an opportunity to discover what were the qualities of leadership and character and personality that made these men of courage do what they did. And now, how many of us know, we've heard about the Param Vir Chakra, but how many of us know the real legacy or the history or the backstory of the Param Vir Chakra? Let me share some insight into that. The Param Vir Chakra, as its name implies, is India's highest award for valor in combat, in battle. Only an act of the most conspicuous bravery, daring, valor or self-sacrifice in the face of the enemy merits this award. And since its institution by the President of India on 26th of January 1950, like I said, only 21 defense personnel have been given this award so far. The decoration, also awarded posthumously, has gone to 14 such brave hearts. You know, the interesting thing about this award is that there is no hierarchy. Officers and men and women of all ranks of the armed forces are eligible for this award. All they need is character and courage and valor. The medal itself is made of bronze and it is circular in shape. On its obverse, which is the front of it, are 4 replicas of god Indra's Vajra, the thunderbolt, with the state emblem including the motto embossed in the center. And on its reverse, the words Param Vir Chakra are embossed both in Hindi and in English, with 2 lotus flowers between the 2 words. The medal is required to be suspended from the left breast by a plain purple colored ribbon, 1¼ inch in width. Should a recipient be awarded the Param Vir Chakra a second time, a bar will be attached to the ribbon by which the chakra is suspended. And when the ribbon is worn alone, a replica of Indra's Vajra in miniature can be added to the ribbon for every bar awarded. Now, the choice of Vajra to serve as the motif for the Param Vir Chakra was an appropriate one. It was the Amogha Astra, the unfailing weapon used by Indra to kill Vitra, the demon of drought, and to release life-giving waters for the benefit of mankind. That's the mythological story behind the Vajra. The Ashokan lions, the state symbol, in the center of the 4 replicas of Indra's Vajra, face the 4 directions and are Buddhist in significance. They symbolize the universal application of the Dharma, comprehending all the 4 directions, east, west, north, and south. The choice of purple as the color for the ribbon for the Param Vir Chakra also has its significance. Purple is a combination of army, red, navy, blue, and air force, blue. It's also the color of the heart. Now, who designed the Param Vir Chakra design? Who came up with this really amazing design for the Param Vir Chakra? Do you know that the Param Vir Chakra, India's highest award for valor in battle, was designed by a woman? Savitri Khanolkar, later known as Savitribai, was asked soon after independence by Major General Hiralal Atal to design India's highest award for bravery in combat. Major General Atal was given the responsibility for creating and naming independent India's new military decorations. His reasons for choosing Mrs. Khanolkar were her deep and intimate knowledge of Indian mythology, Sanskrit, and Vedanta, which he hoped would give the design a truly Indian ethos. She was a painter and an artist and the wife of Major General Khanolkar, who was a serving officer at that time. So in Major General Atal's opinion, Mrs. Khanolkar's military association, her passion for Indian mythology and her talent as an artist made her the ideal choice, and what she designed was truly remarkable. What is more remarkable is that Savitribai was not Indian by birth. She was born as Eva Madej de Meros in Switzerland in 1913 to a Russian mother and a Hungarian father. But from early childhood, Eva was fascinated by India and all things Indian. In 1929, while on a skiing holiday, she met Vikram Khanolkar, who was a handsome young Indian cadet from Sandhurst. And they fell in love, and Eva came to India in 1932 and married Vikram, who was by now a smart young captain of the Sikh regiment. Fascinated as she was by all things Indian, she quickly absorbed Indian customs and traditions and the way of life of an Indian army officer's wife. She learned Hindi and Sanskrit at Patna University, and she also studied Hindustani music and Kathakali dance, which became her absorbing interests. She soon learned to speak fluent Hindi, Sanskrit, and Marathi. She was also a talented artist and made a series of paintings. She immersed herself in social work with the Ramakrishna Mission and in the welfare of army jawans and their families. She led a full life, was the first lady to join the North India Flying Club, and learnt Indian classical dance from Uday Shankarji. The request to design India's highest award for valor found in her a very wholehearted response. She took inspiration from the sage Dadichi, the rishi who gave up his holy body to enable the gods to fashion the deadliest weapon, the Vajra, out of his thigh bone, which was then used by them to vanquish their enemies. She used this design of the double Vajra and on either side put Shivaji's sword Bhavani. Her design was accepted, and so was born the Param Vir Chakra. Little did Savitribai dream that the first Param Vir Chakra would be awarded to her daughter's brother-in-law, Major Somnath Sharma, from the Kumaon Regiment for Valor during the 1947-48 Indo-Pakistan War in Kashmir. And that was the backstory of how the Param Vir Chakra was designed. In the next episodes, we bring to you the Param Virs of the Kargil War, stories from the book Param Vir, Our Heroes in Battle. Thank you to Roli Books for giving us permission to present the stories from this book, and also to Major General Ian Cardozo, not just for his permission, but also for putting these stories, for penning these stories down, so you and I can understand the human side of our Param Virs. Be sure to watch the next 2 episodes for these stories. Thank you and Jai Hind.